Hi, I'm Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life. I talked to acclaimed director and executive producer Roland Emmerich.
When I saw the first race, I was like giddy.
Actor Ewan Ryan.
For an actor, that's a dream, although you do get a lot of sand in your sandals.
And so many more.
You helped summon those ghosts back onto that stage.
Every day when I went to set, I was giggling about what I saw.
I think it's going to be a breathtaking thing.
People will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I really can't stay.
But Buffy, it's cold outside.
I've got to go slay.
But Buffy, it's cold outside.
This evening has been.
Was hoping you'd ask
so
me.
Very nice.
I've heard vamp hands are just like
my mother. She loves to worry.
Come on, what's your hurry?
I'll watch your movie, pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace.
So really, I'd better scurry.
Big, come on, please don't hurry.
Well, maybe just a half an hour.
I'll put some leather on while you pour.
The neighbors might think.
Wow, what a beautiful and festive holiday song.
Yeah, what was that, Jenny? We never start with a song, and I just can't imagine what that could be.
Gee whiz. Well, we teamed back up in honor of the Slayer's sexual tension in this episode. We teamed back up with our friend Jess Abbott and recorded a reimagining Buffy Faith fanfic version of Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yes, if you follow us on social media, you are well aware of it. We released the song yesterday. It is free for everyone to download. There's also a video that I made to go along.
Oh my God.
With this. I can't explain
it might be
to
Kristen's greatest work to date.
It might be the marker of the best day of my life when I made that video, because I just got to pour through footage of Faith and Buffy and put sexy lyrics over the top of it. It's just, you know what? It's the holidays, God damn it. And we all deserve some cheer.
Yes, truly. And we want to thank Jess Abbott for being a sport and duetting with me. And we also want to thank Ben Thornwell, the amazing Ben Thornwell, who really tickled the ivories in the way that only he can.
Tickled the ivories more than the ivories have ever been tickled
Truly.
Before, I believe. Yes, and you can find this song and the lyric video that goes along with it over at bufferingthevampireslayer.com/tistheseason.
Whatever that means.
But it's just 'tis the season is the link. And we could not be more overjoyed to share this with you all. So have a blast. Faith and Buffy sure did.
Yeah, you want to just pour a cup of nog, get nestled into your leather pajamas, curl up by the fire, surrounded by your steak collection.
We sent Heather Hogan the song and the video before it went up, and the responses that she sent to me as she watched the video are some of my most precious moments of all time as well. She
lost her goddamn mind.
She was like, I literally took my sweatshirt off and drank an entire glass of water. So we hope you enjoy. We'll play the full song after our song for Amends at the end of the podcast, but you're going to want to keep this one. So go on over bufferingthevampireslayer.com/tistheseason, grab the song for free, and also check out the video.
And if you just cannot get enough of Buffy and Faith and Buffy, we are holding a Buffy watch on December 9th for our patrons of Bad Girls. The episode
sounded like for our patrons of Bad Girls. Like there's a separate Patreon account just for Buffy
for
and
Bad
Faith fan fiction accounts.
So that'll be on Saturday, December 9th at 2 p.m. Pacific via our secret Facebook group. If you are a patron already, you'll be able to access the details on our Patreon page. And if you're not, become one and join us in darkness and light.
Yes, and also heads up, if you're a patron, you received the work tape of Buffy It's Cold Outside, which, you know, the song between Jess and Jenny playing Buffy and Faith is a winner. It's a holiday classic, one for the ages. But Jenny and I sang the song to send to Jess to explain to her what we were doing and made a voice memo that really came out.
Over a karaoke track?
Yes, over a karaoke track from YouTube. It's really special, and all of our patrons have that work tape where I sing the voice of Faith.
Yes.
My voice is just it's a beautiful voice.
You do a great job.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. Jenny and I lose our composure many times. During
the lyrics
recording.
aren't 100% finished.
So Patreon is a fun place. I'm just going to say that. Now, we just have a couple more announcements before we get into today's episode. First of all, we do lyric sheets every month. We are almost into the month of December, so we have released the 5 lyric sheets for December. If you're new to this concept, Jenny and I will handwrite a lyric sheet for the buffering song of your choice. We sell them for $100 for each lyric sheet, and we do 5 per month. That $500 then gets donated to a different organization every month. So this month, we are giving that $500 to New Alternatives. It's an organization in New York City that works to increase the self-sufficiency of LGBTQ homeless youth by enabling them to transition out of the shelter system to stable adult lives. They do many, many things, one of which is they have meals on Sundays. Every Sunday, they have a shared meal with the LGBTQ homeless community in New York City, especially around the holidays. This is extremely important. I mean, we want to help our homeless LGBT youth all year round, but especially in the holiday season, making sure that they have each other and they have support and they have love is so important. So that $500 for those lyric sheets will go to them this December, and you should check out their work because it's very important. And we thank all of you for your support of our work and of us enabling other people to continue this great work that they do. Now that we have a new store, you all know that a couple of weeks ago we launched a new store. We're working with Hello Merch. Our lyric sheets are in a different place because we do them here at our house. So if you just go to bufferingthevampireslayer.com, you'll see up at the top bar, there's a little announcement bar. That's the link to get to where to get those lyric sheets. But you can also just go to bufferingthevampireslayer.com/greater-good. So bufferingthevampireslayer.com/greater-good, and you can pick up one of those lyric sheets. A really great gift idea, too, for the holiday season, getting somebody their favorite buffering song or a snippet from a buffering song to give them for the holidays.
Now, speaking of our store and whipping very quickly to the opposite end of the emotional spectrum, we want to let you know that we have a brand new Kate Leth collab pin up in the store now, and it is a little green mug, and it says Randy for Giles.
It says
You're
Randy
welcome.
for Giles.
You are welcome.
Yes, you are.
You've been looking for a way to express to the world that you think Giles is very dashing, dapper, intweeted, heroic father figure / love interest.
So daddy.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the shorthand. Giles is a daddy. You're into it. You need a pin? Please go to bufferingthevampireslayer.com and click on shop, and it will take you to a magical portal where you can obtain as many of these pins as you see fit. If you need to cover your entire wardrobe in pins, if you need to just be a walking disco ball of Randy for Giles pins,
yeah,
you can make that happen.
Well, you can make that. Well, I think there's probably 100 of them in stock. I don't know, but you could try.
Start small. Rome wasn't built in a day, as I always say.
Last but certainly not least, one more announcement before we head into the show. Our community over in that secret Patreon Facebook group has been doing many things, wonderful things, one of which I'd like to bring the larger community into. Headed up by Joelle, there is an effort to transcribe all of our episodes of Buffering the Vampire Slayer to increase their accessibility. So Joelle and crew have been working together using Google Docs and a system with percentages, and there's a whole system over there that you can check out, and it's a crowdsourced effort, which means if you just go to bufferingthevampireslayer.com/transcribe, you'll see all of the instructions laid out there for you, and you can jump into any episode that you'd like and start to help with that transcription. And you don't have to do the entire episode. If you only have time to do 10%, you can transcribe 10%, and then you'll see in the formatting guide how to let somebody else know where you stopped with the time marker, and then they can pick up where you've left off and keep that going. So as a community, we're going to come together and we're going to get all these transcriptions done. And as they start to be completed, we'll make a special page on our website where you'll be able to find the PDFs of all of those transcriptions. So thank you so much, Joelle, and thank you so much to everyone over there who's been just doing incredible work to really come together. I mean, we're really Scoobying it up, aren't we? Right? This is what we're doing. Everybody's got their strengths, and we're all pulling them together to make this like the best damn podcast that it could possibly be. Hooray!
And now, without further ado, on to a very special holiday episode for the episode Amends, guest starring our friend and yours, Gaby Dunn, with a very special appearance from none other than Joanna Robinson.
What a gaggle of ladies.
Is gaggle really the word?
What's
the correct plural for a group that includes you, me, Gaby Dunn, and Joanna Robinson?
An
empowerment of ladies?
Suggestions. An empowerment of ladies. There it is, Jenny.
Let us know what your preferred pluralization of the four women that I just listed is. And here we go. Welcome to Buffering the Vampire Slayer, a podcast where we are watching and discussing every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, one at a time, in order. My name is Jenny Owen Young.
And I am Kristen Russo, and this week I got a text message, but
From who?
Nobody panic. It's my friend Gretchen. It's just my friend Gretchen. This week we're talking about season 3, episode 10, Amends. I also want to mention that this is a spoiler-free podcast. We never say that up at the top, but it's spoiler-free. We don't spoil things. If you're watching for the first time, don't be afraid. Also, stay tuned at the end of this podcast every week for an original song written by us recapping the Buffy episode that we're discussing.
Amends was written and directed by somebody named Joss Whedon, and it originally aired on December 15th, 1998.
2 days before my 18th birthday. Who's in the room with us? Because I want to talk about my 18th birthday.
I was about to say, do you guys want to know how old I was?
Yeah. Who's here, Jenny?
Today we have the distinct...
Oh my God.
Turn your fucking dinner
I turned it off.
I'm sorry, it's me. I'm texting her. Don't you hate Jenny? Me too.
Our guest today is so both steeped in millennial culture and also exuding simultaneously millennial culture that iPhone dings just occur when she walks in a room. Like it's like a weird version of 11 from Stranger Things. Her name is Gaby Dunn.
Gaby Dunn.
She haunts our hearts.
I can't believe you guys invited
me
me back.
By invitation.
By invitation.
Yeah,
it's really
the first
time you haven't
dinner. Well, I've been come here for dinner before, but yeah, I've been like invited. You know, like a vampire can't come into your house unless you invite them.
Right.
All fucked up.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. So when we tape podcasts in public places, obviously,
yeah, for sure.
You're like, bitch.
Oh, like you can access Nerd Melt willy-nilly.
Like the high school.
Yes.
And then nobody has to invite them into the high school, right?
Right.
Ugh,
right.
No.
Well, because the high school has the plaque in front of it that says like all are welcome here.
But
in
it's
Latin.
also just a public space. It's not like the espresso pump has a sign that says all are welcome here.
Right. He can go into the bronze.
Right.
So anyway, you guys didn't do something right in your house, or you invited me in once, and now it just sticks.
Now, and now you
we
can
haven't done
enter whenever you'd like.
Spell.
Anyway, I was gonna say, so December 15th, 2 days before my 18th birthday. On my 18th birthday, I went to Philadelphia to visit a friend of mine. Children, cover your ears. I did mushrooms, and then I got my eyebrow pierced.
I just imagined a kid being like, why is it bad to take mushrooms?
Why is it bad? Are mushrooms bad for me?
Are mushrooms bad?
I took mushrooms. I pierced my eyebrow and I dyed my hair red. And then I came home and my mom was like, well, my mom didn't know about the mushrooms part, but she was like serious. Like, did you have to do everything out of the
Guns a-blazing.
gates? Yeah. I was like, I smoked like 3 packs of Parliaments on my birthday. Like,
I
gross.
pierced my nose right as soon as I got to college. Almost immediately. Like checked in to my dorm, got my nose pierced.
No, so nose piercing, eyebrow piercing, and then belly button piercing over here in the Jenny
what
corner.
a basic bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was an unfortunate moment in time, but as I think we've discussed previously, I was in Florida at the time, so I'm not really 100% responsible
You get a pass.
Yeah.
You get
for
a
my
pass.
actions, but I spent all my time before I turned 18 just piercing stuff myself with filed,
very hardcore.
sharpened.
Oh, you're cool.
So you're trying to like
Post-earrings.
balance the scales of like,
That's
I might have
exactly-
had a belly button ring, but
I was in the 5th grade.
What?
In 1998.
Oh, I was like, when you pierced what?
No. And I had my ears pierced when I was a baby. My mom says she regrets it because she was so sad to see them do it to me when I was a baby. Anyway, she's a very emotional soul. But yeah, I was in. So I don't think I was watching Buffy yet.
Yeah, in 5th grade.
No, I don't think yet. I think
Right.
it started up later. So I wasn't watching this when it aired.
Right, that makes sense. Jenny was the only one watching it when it aired.
Just me.
Just you.
Alone
Anyway,
in your
I
home.
interrupted. Did you finish your thing?
Oh, who knows?
It's tell us what happens in
December. That's me.
Oh, yeah, this is the one where...
This is the one where, as IMDb puts it, as the Christmas holiday approaches, Angel is tormented by evil apparitions who want him to eliminate Buffy.
Oh, well, I'm Jewish, so I have to go.
It's also why we invited you for this episode. We thought it would.
It's pretty rude.
We wanted
actually.
Willow to have a representative.
Willow points out multiple times that she is Jewish and there's a Hanukkah spirit. Oh,
Is there a Hanukkah spirit? Is that...
yeah, his name's Hanukkah Harry.
Yeah,
He comes and
I've
drops
heard of
off
it.
the
like
presents.
an actual spirit?
Everyone knows that.
Okay.
What? No, I mean we have a spirit on Passover called Elijah. You leave a chair open
Wait,
for him.
I'm so. I feel like we're talking about two different kinds of spirits because
are you
like, you're
talking
talking about straight up like
Ghosts.
God ghosts.
Yeah.
And
God ghosts.
I'm talking about like
Oh,
when you're
like-
filled,
like when you're
with
filled
a
with
warm,
the Hanukkah
fuzzy
spirit.
feeling.
There's Hanukkah joy for sure. Okay, you've got like 8 candles on the last, but you're lighting candles.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
gelt, which is chocolate.
Mhm.
And then there's like dreidel games that you can play. Oh, and
Sure.
your mom makes potato pancakes. So you have latkes.
Great.
And then you have sour cream and applesauce. Oh, yeah. There's
Great.
a lot of spirit to Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, says Gaby.
Hanukkah's mad festive.
You made the good point before we started this episode. We were like explaining to Gaby which one this one was before we watched it all together, and you were like, "Oh, so this is like the Ghost of Christmas Past."
It is.
And then the episode started, and it was like straight up a scene from Scrooge, you know,
An
like-
actual ghost
Yeah.
of a Christmas
yeah,
past.
yeah.
It was like very, Victorian, but Dublin, not London. So
right. The
same
Dublin.
costumes. They borrowed the wardrobe.
Also, early comment from Gabby Dunn while we were reviewing. We're like looking at this busy street in Dublin, and Gabby's like, "This is truly an interview with a vampire."
Because in Interview with a Vampire, they flash back to
Yeah.
the beginning of Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
They I feel like Hollywood loves vampires in this era. Like,
Just in 1800s time.
yeah, like
Why?
it's like the I don't know, it must have been like the height of
Vampirism.
Yeah,
but also
activity.
think
When
about
was
like
Dracula?
the sort of like unbridled sort of like
Yes.
sexual heat
Yes.
coupled with velvet and ruffles.
high necks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbridled
ponytails.
sexual heat. Holy shit.
Gabby heard nothing else that you said.
Well,
just unbridled sexual
Dracula
heat.
came out in 1897.
Oh.
So like then.
But I think you have a point. I think there's something about like opposing very like
mhm.
buttoned up people
Yes.
with like
Victorian
blood-sucking.
times, prudishness.
Yes.
And then the only way that they can express their lust maybe
Mm-hmm.
is like being like, oh, a vampire
Right.
got to
Right.
me.
Right.
Right.
It was a
Sexy.
Um,
vampire. No. Oh no.
Right. And like
Anyhow.
the fair maidens, except this, a fair gentleman was the victim.
Well, yeah, and by fair, do you mean like, oh no, that mustache?
Well, the angel's mustache.
Okay, so first of all-
terrible mustache.
That I have wrote about it twice in my notes.
Why does Angel have an Irish accent?
Because he's from Ireland. Well, but you're
No.
being
Why?
generous why doesn't he now?
Why doesn't he have it now?
It's funny
He's been living
Spike,
stateside for so long.
yeah, but does
right?
Spike go back to the UK?
Yeah, Spike has a
an
British accent.
But like Spike's accent is part of his like vibe. It's like part of his brand.
Angel decided that having
Angel was like, my brand is moody teen.
Yeah.
And I can't do this thing.
We've never seen him be moodier
he's like
or more
Madonna.
of a teen.
He's just reinventing himself all the
Oh my
time.
God.
Who's he gonna be?
This is the most dramatic episode of television I've ever watched in my entire life.
And like David Boreanaz is being so dramatic.
So do you think it's David Boreanaz or do you think that it is just Angel? Like, I just feel like
okay, for someone who's been alive for like thousands of years, he is such a little bitchy teenage boy.
Right.
Like, it's
Yeah, we just
crazy.
talked
Like, have
about
you
this.
never encountered like he this is my problem with him. Is that he should know better. He should just every step of the way, he should just know better.
Yeah, and this episode is interesting because it really gives us a look into Angel that I don't think we've really gotten before. We know he's brooding. We know he loves fire.
But we're like making this like, oh, he's just like a brooding, like a teenager whose like parents split up and they've turned goth. He's like a murderer.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. And he's a murderer. And this is really the first time we've sort of seen a window into both versions of Angel occupying his body, or him sort of like copying to the monster version while ensouled.
Right, and struggling with which one is the real me.
Right, and which one needs to be killed.
Right. And he is really over the top with it all. But I think there is something there. We actually got a slew of emails. I think we actually read a couple of them on not the last Patreon mailbag, but the one right before it, from people who do like restorative justice work in prisons who were like discussing this, like where do you draw the line, and like, is it better to like punish, or is it better to, like educate and have people, so there's a lot in it. We don't need to like get that deep, but
Gaby busted through the door this evening and said, I have no time for redemption arcs.
Gaby came through the door and was like, I have no time for men today.
I did, to be fair, what's today's date?
Today is today when we were recording this. Yeah, it is
November 9th.
November 9th.
Is it okay to say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's November 9th, right? So I'm sure in the next month, men will have completely cleaned up their act.
Totally.
We'll all be like, what a dated podcast that was. Men are so good now.
Right.
But like,
okay, but we really try not to date the podcast too much.
Okay,
so.
but as of like right now, man, it's rough goings for y'all. And so like it's weird to come in and record an episode where you're like supposed to be like, gotta see both sides. Like later on in this episode, Giles comes out with a crossbow, and I just went, kill him.
Yeah.
And Jenny like choked.
Oh my God, I actually think I wrote down your quote when Giles walked in.
Yeah, straight up kill him.
Let me see. Yes, Gaby, actually what you said in the scene where Angel shows up at Giles's door, Gaby said, just kill him and then vacuum him up. No one will ever know.
And say, I never saw the guy.
I did say I never saw. He turns to dust. Just get out that Swiffer. Do you understand, how quickly he could have solved everyone's problems? Quick crossbow to the chest, vacuum it up with a little dust buster.
Yeah.
And then be like, I never saw that guy. Wonder where he went. Guess he ghosted you.
He's literally ghosted you. But he's conflicted because he loves Buffy and Buffy loves Angel.
Buffy's an idiot. Okay, it's fine. We'll get to it.
We'll get there.
Can we talk about the most important development in this episode?
Yes, Jenny.
Which
Tiny
is that,
Banks?
Well, that is a close second, and I want to discuss it also. But number one is Angel has finally gone to Pottery Barn and purchased a dark wood bedroom suite. He has 2 nightstands, they match, and a bed with a wooden headboard.
I fucking told you where he loves this. It's his store.
Pottery
Barn.
He's all about it.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
How
we just
late are they
haven't seen
open?
him in a bed in Vamp Mansion.
Yes.
Tossing and turning.
Oh my God. I wrote, and I had like in brackets. So when I take my notes, I do them like by scene, but then when there's little cutaways, I do them in brackets. And I have like 14 times in brackets. Just there's Angel with no shirt in bed again. Just Angel just sleeping. Also, do vampires sleep? I don't understand.
He doesn't.
He's not supposed to sleep, but yet he's sleeping for so much of this episode.
He's supposed to sleep during the day, because otherwise, what are you doing? Just like playing cards?
Oh, during the day.
Solitaire.
Yeah,
they didn't have Twitter, so I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah. So
what is he supposed to do during the day?
Right. So, okay, so fine. So he goes to Pottery Barn, but I agree. Tiny bangs.
Yeah.
Yo, Buffy spends this episode looking the most like she will ever look like Hayley Williams.
Oh,
ever.
Wow.
She looks so much like a particular moment in time of Hayley.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't understand. So she like rolls up tiny bangs.
All right. Then they're styled out.
Yeah. Then in certain scenes they're styled out. Then again, tiny bangs.
Yeah, they were testing them out, and they
then
didn't.
Maybe they
didn't
shot
stick.
maybe she got tiny bangs. They shot like the 2 scenes or whatever that she has.
And then they decided no tiny
And then they were like,
bangs.
oh no, let's put some extensions back. I don't understand how extensions work, but
I was about to say,
is that,
you think you can do extensions for bangs?
For bangs, I'm not so
Is that
sure.
not how it works? I thought that was the whole point of extensions.
No,
Extend
you-
your
no.
hair.
But
Yeah, but you
but it's
can't-
got to go under.
Right. and
I've had extensions twice.
Wow.
Ugh.
We
But you
have
can't.
you
You
here
have
on
to
the right
attach an
day.
extension to existing hair.
To the
Right.
tiny bang.
No. Okay.
You
I also said, oh, that one street on the WB lot.
Right. Yeah.
So Angel and Buffy run into each other on the street.
Well,
and
of course
they're-
they do, because it's the
street.
only street on the
Right.
lot.
Right.
And they have this like awkward X run in where
It's like
everybody's like, "Oh, funny to see you here on the street."
She's like, I'm shopping for Christmas. Are you shopping for Christmas?
Do you
Do
remember
ensouled vampires
shopping?
observe?
Oh, yeah, good call. Who the
Christmas?
fuck is Angel shopping for?
Only
Just
Buffy.
bought himself a nightstand. No,
I
I just ordered.
"Oh, Merry Christmas."
I just
to
ordered
me."
some stuff at the Pier 1 Imports, and they're going to just drop it off later. I just told them to drop it off.
I believe Pier 1 Imports is a little below Angel's caliber of taste. Gaby.
Okay. This goes to IKEA.
But my like nostalgia in this moment was like, remember when you had to leave your home and walk around and go shopping?
Oh, my mom would just take me to the mall and be like, let's get them all. Let's get all the gifts now at the mall.
You'd go and
Yeah.
you'd have so many bags and you'd like see things and be inspired by what you saw at the store instead of like going online and ordering a million things.
We would make little like soap thing. Like I would like get like little little fancy bags and then get various soaps.
Yes.
And put the little soaps in the bag.
Remember like Bath and Body Works? Is that what it's called?
Oh, it's still around.
Right, but like the I feel like there was a time when you would just get your
You would
friends
get
like
your
the
friends.
spray and the lotion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jenny is shaking her head. No.
No cucumber melon?
Oh, cucumber melon.
No.
A famous scent.
Classic apple?
Lavender.
Lavender,
Sparkly,
periwinkle?
Sparkly
You
lavender
guys.
scented. No.
You guys.
What?
Jenny.
I'm very gay. There was no buying of scented lotions or
That's
receiving of scented lotions.
No
in
buying or receiving
junior
of
and high
scented
school?
lotions.
No.
No, you were just buying guitar picks and
Yeah, and like
safety pins to pierce your own ears with.
incense. Well, probably I already had the safety pins lying around already. Thank you.
So then they're at school.
So we go to the credits. We come back. We're at school, and Xander's wearing a reindeer sweater. I think I wasn't sure.
It almost looked like House Stark, like the dire wolf.
Oh, ooh,
Whoa,
I'll have to go
maybe
back
they
and look at
predicted
that
it.
sweater. And we learned that Cordelia is spending her Christmas in Aspen.
Good for her. She deserves
Yeah,
it.
she does. She's been through a lot.
Do you think she can ski after that
Probably
impalement
not.
wound?
And I do think that Cordelia is probably a fucking badass skier. I think that she can.
She like took lessons when she was 4.
Hell
and
yeah,
stuff.
she grew up on the
Definitely.
slopes. But I think this Christmas, Cordelia's just gonna be like at the fire with some hot cocoa.
I just want to
And
say
a
that.
hot dude.
Yes, maybe a few.
She's earned it.
Yeah, she has.
Just skipping back for one brief moment. I just want to let everybody know that A Game of Thrones, the first book in George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series, was published in August of 1996.
Oh,
So is it a dire wolf shirt?
Maybe.
Oh my!
wow. So Oz is like
God.
totally reading.
No,
Xander.
Xander.
No, I know, but like, I just feel like the
Oh,
character.
Oz.
I feel like
the
the
character of Oz is
wolfing out.
reading
the
like
books.
in our minds
Yes.
is reading. Yeah, that's
Oz
perfect.
and Willow are like,
Definitely into it.
do you want to have sex? Do you want to just talk about Game of Thrones?
Speaking of Game of Thrones, one of my very favorite topics, we a special contribution to today's episode from the leading expert on Game of Thrones. My friend, your friend, America's friend, the world's friend, Joanna Robinson, has decided to join us because she could not let this episode go by without talking about Angel and his accents.
Yes, we are so excited. Joanna just could not contain herself. And so we have a very special segment for you from Joanna. Let's hear it.
Joanna Robinson is here to talk to us about her feelings on the Sunnydale Populace.
Hi there, Joanna here with your Buffy Feelings update for the 1998 holiday episode, Amends. This is usually where their friend Kate gives you the Buffy fashion update, but since I have none of her expertise, I'm here to talk to you about wigs, bangs, accents, and the performance that landed David Boreanaz his own damn spin-off show. Sure, and I contemplated doing this entire report in my best, worst Angel Irish accent, but I didn't want to subject you to that. So instead, I'll just beg you all to live in the thrill you felt as this episode faded from Angel's truly terrible wig full of so many vampire secrets to Buffy's absolutely insane Christmas shopping bangs. Sarah Michelle Gellar sensibly sweeps these bangs to the side for most of the rest of the episode, but they're emblazoned forever on our memories. Speaking of memory, this episode delivers up the devastating return of Jenny Calendar as the non-corporeal manifestation of the first evil. Man, that's an awfully important sounding name for a one-episode villain, isn't it? But the emotional highlight of this update belongs, as it should, to the newly reunited Pez Witch and Werewolf in love, who, despite all that Barry working for them, enjoy a perfectly innocent holiday snuggle. Jenny has been sneakily and perhaps unconsciously preparing you for the climax of this episode with her season 3 Angel self-immolation watch. I hope she's appreciating that the frosty weather in Sunnydale means that Angel's fire building hobby finally makes sense. And Kristen, I'm sure, is feeling a lot of emotions about Faith leaving her motel room for some good old Summers family hospitality. But above all else, this episode should be noted as the one where Joss Whedon sat up and said, that man, that David Boreanaz, he should have his own show. So there's a decidedly non-crappy gift in this episode for Jenny, for Kristen, and certainly for David Boreanaz, which makes Amends one of the more important episodes of season 3 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you hate Amends, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, are you a thing worth saving? And number 2, are you a righteous fan? This has been your Feelings Update. I'm Joanna Robinson.
Jesus Christ almighty. I don't understand why all of these horrible people have to participate in our podcast.
It's dreadful.
They one after another, they're just the worst. I can't stand it. Joanna, you better watch it, You better watch it is all I'm going to say. Thank you for that amazing Feelings Watch. Also, just a quick note before we go to the next scene is that Oz's t-shirt, Oz is wearing a fucking Om
t-shirt.
Om t-shirt, which
I
like
saw
really
that.
Gets to the heart of Oz, I think.
Like
the symbol.
Namaste.
The symbol Namaste,
yeah. And it's very fitting for the scene that we're about to go into, too.
Because everyone is calm AF.
Yes.
Why is everyone so calm?
Willow and Oz are really at a caliber of maturity that I did not myself have in high school.
I cannot believe that Cordelia didn't just sucker punch Willow.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's just like...
Right, even Cordelia.
Well, but Willow and Cordelia have a history.
Yeah, they've
They're
got that
not without their
whole
history.
broom closet, They've
Yeah.
been canoodling, so they get it.
And they're best
They love to hate
friends.
on men together, so
Yes.
they have a particular kind of bond.
Yeah. I just am like shocked by how calm everyone's being.
Yeah.
Also, is there any other place in the school you could possibly hang out that you wouldn't see each other?
Just that lounge. There's just one lounge for 6 students.
Every other room in the school is full of every other student
This
in the school.
Scene, I just want to give it like a moment of real. The scene between Oz and Willow is very important.
Yeah.
And meaningful. It's so Oz's lines where he's like, "I miss you. I feel like I lost not an arm, but like my torso." It's just, and then Willow at the end being like, is it okay if I hug you?
Mm-hmm.
They're both very respectful of consent in this scene. They're both very, very respectful of each other. It's just, it's
this
like
is
the way
weird
shit should
because
happen.
I was led to believe that all teenage boys are driven by an urge to be like disrespectful, and like they have no control over their own actions.
Right.
They can't have thoughts.
I know. Maybe Oz isn't a teenage boy. Maybe that's what we'll find out.
He's a teenage werewolf.
Yeah, teenage werewolves have a lot more self-control.
And he should be having the least self-control. He's a goddamn werewolf.
Exactly.
I just wrote no one deserves Oz.
Yeah.
Accurate.
He's too good. He's too good for this world. Yes, Jenny. Jenny's got a face on her face.
Can I spring forward to the next?
Please swing us forward.
So Buffy and Joyce have swung by the Sunnydale Christmas tree lot.
Sure.
And they take turns telling the other that they should invite somebody over for Christmas Eve. So Joyce really wants Buffy to invite Faith over.
Joyce loves Faith.
Loves Faith.
Remember that girl who ate all of our dinners that one time?
And also, like, Buffy's like, I don't know. We're not really, I don't know. It's awkward.
And then she's like, don't like her stay in that dingy motel room. And I was like, oh, this is a fanfic. I've written and read this.
But also, let us just, hammer that home once again. Faith Motel Watch still shelling out $18 interfollically. Nobody can offer her a fucking guest room.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I mean, I think Joyce is right there. If Faith and Buffy weren't having gal pal spats left and fucking right, I think probably
Faith would probably live
Shea
Summers.
There. But everybody's working through their sexuality. There's a lot going on.
I also think Faith is just is martyred herself, likes living in the hotel room to be like, oh, my life is so hard.
Yeah, well, it is real spotting.
Thank you, Jenny.
So.
I was hoping that you would get an opportunity to say that one more time.
Thank you for your support. Then Buffy's like, while we're listing people we should invite over for Christmas Eve.
But here's the thing. Don't you feel like it's like a let me zing you with your secret
that's
lover?
what I'm saying. Totally.
Yeah, right.
They're
like,
jabbing
obviously.
each other.
Yeah. Why don't I invite Faith, that girl that you're just totally friends with, nothing going on there? And Buffy's like, oh yeah, why don't you call Giles, Mom?
Yeah, exactly. That was a fun little
dude. And Joyce is like, no. And then when Buffy pushes it, she's like, he doesn't want to spend Christmas Eve with a bunch of girls.
That makes no sense.
What?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
You know, Christmas Eve, the holiday where you like drink beer and like maybe shoot a deer or something.
That's
and
Thanksgiving.
then toss a
Who
pig
is
skin
Giles
around.
supposed to be spending?
He literally has no one.
No one.
His decorative stairs that's where he is spending Christmas.
And his like girlfriend's dead. Like it would be
Come on.
Joyce should invite him of anyone.
Right? It would be the coziest Christmas.
And it's
Mom, Dad, me, my girlfriend.
So then before we leave the Christmas tree lot, we get a Stranger Things moment. Now, don't say anything too much. I don't know how much you've seen, but we've only watched 4 episodes so far.
I haven't seen any of season 2. I'm a bad person.
Okay.
I've just been rewatching Curb. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. But
that'll come up later in this episode, my rewatching of Curb. It will, because I have a tidbit.
Okay. But yeah, this is like the trees are dead. There must be something evil, but we don't know that yet. Although, what is with the fucking salesman in the Christmas tree?
No,
lot?
I thought that was creepy AF. Weird.
Do you want one of these? Imagine Buffy was like, yes,
I want all the dead
Kristen.
trees. Pack them up. Pack all the dead trees into my car.
Right. After your lifetime of Christmas tree buying, you're telling me you've never been offered a cut rate on a tree that you would never.
Guys, I've never bought a Christmas tree.
Could anybody
L'chaim.
Listen, one of my favorite activities of the entire year is buying a Christmas tree.
Do you want to come with us? Do you want to get your first Christmas tree with us this year?
Wow, a live invitation. An invitation on air.
Wow, yeah, I can't take it back.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get adopted. So yes, I would love to buy. I've never bought one. How do you know if one's good?
I mean, you know, if there's no needles on it whatsoever, that you shouldn't buy it. So
yeah, that's your first sign.
What are the needles?
The pine needles.
The pricklies?
Yeah, the little pricklies.
Okay. I'll learn. I'm open.
You'll learn. We'll teach you. Anyhow, no one has ever offered me a discount on a tree with literally no needles on it whatsoever.
Okay.
My mom, when I was growing up and we were more Jewish, my mom did say that the Gentiles would make Christmas seem really fun to get you. And I think that maybe
happening
this is
right
what's
now.
happening.
I don't know what you're talking
about.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but my next notes are in all caps. It goes on for a while. I'm just going to read them and see if we all know what I'm talking about. My all caps notes are Faith is back, white tank, woo, she has plans, big party, what a liar. That's not an erotic novel. I know it sounded like one. It's not. But I just got I am full of more excitement for the character of Faith than I have been maybe ever in my life for any character. Because I feel like I've realized my full potential as a queer woman and then have revisited this character, and it's just come together in a particular kind of way for
She's
me.
looking good.
She is. She
looking
knows
good.
about what kind of tank top to wear.
Yeah, she's
great.
got that arm tattoo that's indicative of the era.
Very.
She is truly a terrible liar.
Terrible liar. I think she was terrible lying on purpose.
Yeah.
And then also when she was like, I don't care about Christmas or whatever she was saying. And then I was like, but you got lights up, girl.
Right.
And then Buffy was like, nice lights.
Because
And then she's like, well, 'tis the season. Whatever that means. It's the season. It means it is the season.
You got so mad.
Yeah, Jenny exclaimed out loud. It means it is the season when we were watching the episode.
I mean, I know Faith is supposed to be like really blue collar Southie, but I can't. But she's smarter than she wants anybody to think, and I just believe that if she had searched her heart, she would have known that it meant it is the season.
Couldn't Buffy have just called her?
I don't know.
Do they not have
Is there
phones at the
is there a
motel?
phone in the motel?
See, if she had
unclear.
just called her, then she wouldn't have gotten to look into her eyes.
That's what I
or,
mean.
see
That's
her
why I'm
smacking
always
the
like,
TV around
interesting.
or check whether or not she has Christmas lights up.
Right.
Faith, I got that big patty. That was for you, Jenny.
Thank you.
So then we go to Giles's. We talked
My
about
favorite
this.
scene.
Yeah, we talked about this for a moment.
Well, first of all, Giles looks amazing.
Good.
Suspenders down?
Yeah. Giles is looking real good in this episode. Crossbow suspender down Giles is what I wrote.
Yeah,
in my
I got a
notes.
case of the Kate Letts
Yeah.
for this episode.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Everything is good. My initial notes were Angel, Giles, kiss. Just kidding. Torture.
Yeah.
Because I felt like they were so
Ooh.
happy to see each other, but then I remembered.
That would be such a I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but oh man, what a turn,
like if that
Who's your big Buffy male ship? Like who's the big
out
ship?
of all of them?
Yeah, like who's the ship of dudes together? It's Spike and Angel, right?
I don't know. Angel's been so dramatic lately.
But
I
time.
guess of all of them.
But
Spike
when
and
Angel,
Xander?
when Angel
No,
is
Xander
evil,
would never be involved in my ship, I don't think. I don't think that Xander would be permitted in that territory.
Xander's not allowed in the ship.
I don't know. I've been really into Giles and Angel. I'm not going to lie.
Giles
I
and
mean,
Angel is a
maybe
good
the
ship.
most age appropriate pairing Angel can hope for on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Giles and Angel. I guess who else would we ship? I guess
At this
no one.
point in the series, I don't know. I think it might be
I guess
between
it's
those
just
two
Giles
pairings.
and Angel right
Oh,
now.
I have-
Versus Angel and Spike. I think that's a good contender.
Versus Angel and Spike, I think is a good contender.
Mhm.
Yeah, so much, brooding and drama.
Yeah.
Anyway, my notes say kill him and then deny. I also started screaming when they saw each other because it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah. You really did. You really were like, oh my God, what is happening?
But also okay. Are we just rooting for Giles to not immediately kill Angel because why? Because he's good looking?
Well, okay, no, that's a strong point. He is very good looking, but also
'Cause we like
he
Buffy?
cares about Buffy.
Yeah.
Buffy cares about him.
Sure.
We at least don't
Why?
want him murdered in cold blood while he is in possession of a soul.
I think because of the conflict. I know you're over it, Gabby, but I feel like the conflict is who is the real Angel and can we kill the guy with a soul? Like, is it the same person or is it not the same person? That's the big debate.
Oh, I grew up with an alcoholic father. I completely understand. But I also think at some point, there's parts later in this episode where you're like, it is the same person.
Well, yeah, yeah.
It's complicated.
It is complicated.
It is complicated, which is, it would make it much simpler if Giles just killed him.
Right.
Yeah,
Vacuumed him
yeah.
up with a dustbuster.
I just think
then
if
the
he,
episode
I
would be
just
over.
think if he didn't look like David Boreanaz, we would have a easier time being like, fuck that guy. Like, I think it's like because he's handsome and like a handsome white guy that everyone's like, no.
Yeah. It's funny. I feel a lot less attachment to Buffy and Angel in this viewing. Like my first viewing, I was like definitely in. And I imagine that most people who watched this when they were younger, I mean, that's like.
You don't know any better. Young people love Bella and Edward in Twilight, and that's abusive.
Exactly. But I think a lot of like media like TV relationships, movie relationships.
We'll get there at the end of this episode. I have some stuff to say.
Well, before we move along from this scene, I want to just say, oh dear, Jenny Calendar. Jenny Calendar is here, and Jenny Calendar now, Robia Lamort, is that this actress's name? I really feel like she excels at. Like, you know, she was fine as Jenny Calendar, but boy, oh boy, does she fucking nail it with creepy corpse Jenny Calendar.
Yeah.
Because we've already seen corpse Jenny Calendar in previous episodes, and I just feel like the evil is very palpable. I think I talked about it last time that it reminds me of in American Gods. What's the Shadow's wife? Shadow's dead wife that walks around, which I'm not
for American Gods.
I've never seen the show, but my image in the from reading the book was very much in line with Jenny Calendar.
She looks great. Her outfit is great.
Yeah.
She looks just like peak 90s hotness.
Yeah, that like transparent mesh
I
shirt.
own that with butterflies and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And then like the blue eyeshadow, all of it is lovely.
Gaby, can you dig up some 90s photos of yourself for us for this episode?
Oh God.
Can we post those on our social
really
media?
Really bad. I had like something like what she was wearing, but it was blue and it had butterflies on it. And I was like, this is the best thing I own. I will wear this every weekend to synagogue.
Yeah. So my next scene note is Titanic. We go to the top. What we call.
I wrote Titanic times.
Yeah, the Titanic. I want to please. We can't do this episode without giving a shout out to the line that Angel has, which is to this girl who I guess is like one of the maids,
Downton Abbey style,
right? His claim of why she can stay there is they will not notice the absence of a canapé.
Wait, so what is a canapé?
Like an hors d'oeuvre, I think. Like a snack.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They will not notice the absence of a canapé. Like, I think that she's meant to like be bringing out the snacks and the food or whatever.
But is he calling her a canapé?
Right,
but
it's
she
a double
doesn't
entendre.
realize.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a Titanic style double entendre.
So the way he treats that girl, once again, kill him.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down sexual assault Angel.
Yeah.
No one will believe you. No one will believe you, you know, and then I have...
Oh, do you want to cause a scene? Blah, blah, blah. I mean...
This is fucked up shit.
It's fucked up. It's relevant for right now. Kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I vote kill him.
Right. And I want to just say one more time, he still has that fucking mustache. You know what I mean?
It's real bad.
If we're going to kill him for anything,
also,
it could be that mustache.
I feel like we always hear like lion snarls and roars when vampires are in vamp face, but for some reason it like really felt very sticky outy in this scene to me. And I'm just wondering, like, posing a question to the group, how comfortable are we with a lion sound effect being applied to a vampire? Is everybody good with that?
I see what you're saying. I see where you're going with this. Yeah. Well, I think that they were like, how can we make it clear that this is an animal,
a beast,
a
monster,
and they went with the snarl.
Yeah, it's just like,
what was cheapest
physically?
Yeah,
they were like right next to the werewolf costume was like a sound effect maker for a lion roar. Yeah,
what can
Party
we get?
City?
Yeah.
Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin, and if you have sensitive skin, you're gonna want to hear about their scientifically proven topical supplements. Free from over 1,500 chemicals and preservatives that can make skin red, irritated, or itchy, their products are safe for sensitive skin. It's just one of the reasons they've earned the skin-safe seal of approval.
They've also earned the Jenny Owen Youngs and Kristen Russo seal of approval, if I do say so myself, Jenny.
I couldn't agree more. I've been using OneSkin for a few months, and after a few weeks, I remember it like it was yesterday. I texted Kristen, and I was like, maybe she's born with it. I looked in the mirror that morning and was like, oh, things are happening, and I am happy.
I have used 1,000,000,000,000 skin products, and I did not think that I was going to switch off of the skin like lotion, the moisturizer that I used and the under eye cream that I use because I have used them for a little while and I really like them. And I've switched completely, which is a pretty big deal. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code BUFFERING at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code BUFFERING. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and if you can, please tell them that we sent you.
As a podcast network, our focus is bringing you shows you love to listen to. But we also sell merch related to those shows. And partnering with Shopify has made that both possible and simple for us to do. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor adventures, Shopify helps you sell everywhere because they've got you covered from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. What's so fantastic about Shopify is how, no matter how big you want to grow, they provide everything you need to get control of your business so you can take it to the next level. Businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
Hello, I'm Simon Jack.
And I'm Sing Sing.
And together we host Good Bad Billionaire, the podcast exploring the minds, the motives, and the money of some of the world's richest individuals.
Every episode, we pick a billionaire and we find out how they made their money.
And then we judge them. Are they good, bad, or just another billionaire?
Good Bad Billionaire from the BBC World Service.
Listen now wherever you get your BBC podcasts.
Before we go to what I like to call Inception, I just want to take a moment to play the patriarchy jingle for this scene. This is about as patriarchal as one can get.
It was really awful.
The patriarchy!
Thank you very much for playing that jingle. It really has a place many times in this episode. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
Just the wording he was using was so...
Yeah, really on the nose. And, I mean, intentional, I'm sure. It's very complicated because I feel like, again, they're setting up this scenario where they're attributing, like, these behaviors to, like, the monster side and then, like, the redeemable qualities on another side, and it's not that clear. And, I mean, the show doesn't make it that clear to the show's credit, but it's sticky for us to unpack.
The show, I think, is saying you should like him.
Yes, the show is for sure saying that.
And I got more problems with that later on. Anyway, then Buffy enters a dream.
Yes,
Inception. I think this looks so great. I think they nailed it. I think
it looked great.
The eye contact, the way that she sort of like, obviously her style of dress is very different from her surroundings, but also the way that she's just sort of like glowing, like lit to sort of like look kind of incandescent and like otherworldly.
Totally. Then we go back to the mansion. My first note is creepy Jenny Calendar for the win. I still am really into creepy Jenny Calendar. And then I also have Michael Jackson morphing. Whenever I see this style of thing, I always think of the black or white video where, you know, Angel is sort of facing all of these people that he's fucked over as Angelus or what have you. And one after another, they're sort of saying, you're a horrible person. You should fucking, you know what you should do? You should do something fucked up again and lose your soul.
Right.
This is the
we don't
first.
know what yet.
Right. We don't. Yeah. Okay. So we'll wait till we find out. Right now, we just see morphing.
Oh, then this is my favorite line. Buffy's trying to convince Giles that they saw each other in the dream. And she was like, I saw things I couldn't possibly have known about. And I was like, yeah, bitch, that's what a dream is. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Buffy has a lot of faith in her dreams.
Well, she has prophetic.
Guys, I didn't mean to do that.
Wow.
Oh.
Hey!
Okay.
Could stand a little more faith in her dreams. Am I right, ladies?
You are right. So Buffy has a history of prophetic dreams. It's a whole Slayer thing. It's a Slayer legacy.
Yeah, sure.
Fine, then say that. Don't be like, I saw stuff I couldn't have known about, which is literally the definition of a dream.
We all say things in times of duress.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Also, why was Xander just creeping in the hallway?
Xander's trying to also
Why
be
was he just
redeemed a
there?
bit in this scene.
Oh, yeah,
right.
amends.
Sure.
He feels bad for I think because of the holiday spirit is what we're led to believe.
Yeah, everybody seems. That's going to come back later.
I have a question that is unrelated to Xander, but is related to the holiday spirit. Did Giles decorate his office at the library? Because there's some tinsel. There's some fucking like.
Or do you think those are Giles' choice, or like he came in one morning after the school had been decorated,
and then he was like, I guess.
You think they went into the library, into Giles' office and hung tinsel?
He didn't.
I think he did it. I'm pretty sure he did it. I'm pretty sure he has a little dusty box underneath the fucking filing cabinet that says
he's
like
been
Christmas
using for like years.
He's just trying to make it festive for the 3 students that ever spend any time in the library.
Yes.
Great.
No, he's making it festive for himself.
Oh, for himself.
Why is Willow at school?
Well, why is that right? Why is everybody at school?
Why? Literally, Xander must have been standing in the doorway listening to their conversation, waiting for an opening.
Yeah.
Do you understand how weird that is?
Yeah, it's pretty Xander. But here's what I like about this, because then they all get together, like the Scoobies are there, and we're all like, why are they at school? It's fucking Christmas. But I do feel like, I don't know, I remember when Christmas break would happen in school that like you had so much time. You know, like you didn't have anything to really do. So I think it's very believable. I was always like, I did theater. So I was in musicals and we would have like winter break rehearsals. And they were some of like the best times of my life because we would like come in our pajamas.
To school.
And just be together in a way like that you couldn't really be together after school. So I felt like there was a little bit of that here where it was like, there's no school, but we're all together. And it's like,
yeah, and like
time.
Oz isn't around, and Xander and Cordelia aren't together anymore, and Angel's having like an existential crisis, and it's just like the core group back together again, working on a problem, reading books until they fall asleep all over the library.
Well, before that though, I do want to just say that Buffy does, because of winter break, Buffy has enough time to give Willow one piece of advice.
She has enough time to think about one thing about somebody else.
Yeah.
I know.
She's like,
I was like, oh my God, they're friends.
Right. She actually listened to Willow talk about Oz and Xander and explained, Xander will have a piece of you that Oz can't, so you have to put Oz first. And Willow's response was like total shock that Buffy had. She was like, oh, thank you so much.
The first time in an unprecedented movie.
Anyway, sorry, Jenny, that everyone falls asleep. You're right.
Well, before that, evil Jenny Calendar is like, you took more pleasure in it than just to feed to Angel, talking about killing. Also, there's like a random dad character who's apparently Angel killed his children.
Yes, and arranged them so that dad wouldn't know that they were dead until he had to go over and check on them.
Right. Like, and then he was like, well, as a man, like, I was okay. And then she's like, no, you were like a whoring, roundabout, bad gadabout town dude.
Yes, drunken whoring.
And you were going to die of syphilis. Do any diseases you have come with you when you become a vampire, or you're just cured?
No, it burns
they just
the
all
disease
go away.
Cool. Anyway, so then,
but I think she was like just saying like you would have died, not like you had syphilis and then were saved from
right. But you would have died of it because people died of it back in the day. So seriously, fuck this guy. Like, why do we like him? Is it because he's handsome?
I think handsome has a lot to do with it.
Like, I honestly, like, if he was not handsome, would we even be hesitating?
I think that that's a hard question to answer because, like, me right now watching the series, probably I wouldn't be hesitating at being like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But I think that I also had decades of, like, being raised on wanting to believe the best in people, right? And like Angel really plays to that. Angel is always like, I'm trying my hardest, I'm working my hardest, I'm trying to redeem myself, I'm trying to, his whole existence is to try to undo all the bad he's done.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it's hard to just say like,
I know.
no.
I know.
It's
I
hard.
know.
I don't know.
Anyway, then they start fucking in a dream.
Then
You
they-
yelled they found a way to fuck.
They did. I yelled it and wrote it. They figured it out. Like, I just feel like this is glossed over, and I feel like this is monumental. I know the dream ends badly, but like, you guys hang on to this fucking dream shit, and you're good.
Yeah, this
You
is
can fuck all day long in your Inception dreams, you weirdos. You know, it's great.
Yeah, this is some keystone problem solving shit, but nobody has time for it.
No, nobody has time for it, and they're
Just
really
after a quick dream fuck.
Yeah,
And
thankfully
totally inappropriate lolling about on the library carpet.
Yeah, that ends in murder.
Broad daylight.
Yeah.
And
But here's the question. If Angel comes from a wet dream, he loses his soul again.
No, because it's not. I think it has to be 100% real. I think that's the loophole here, is that it's like great, but because I think Angel can like.
Hold on. So
Yes.
they could date.
Yep.
And just do mutual masturbation for the
Yes,
rest of their lives.
yes,
and it would be
100%.
fine.
Yes.
No,
100%.
no, because there's
You don't
something
think
about
so?
them. There's
Being
something about them
together.
being actually together,
Oh,
like
physically
weird,
in the same
not just
space?
physically, but like weird dating. There's a comfort,
Oh, a
and
happiness
a
that you
warmth.
can't feel
exactly
about them being
like,
together in
yeah,
any way.
that it's like
Got
all
it.
it all adds up.
I see. I like
to
how
that.
Jenny is approaching this as though she has done her dissertation on it. She's like, no, you guys. Here's how
No,
it works.
I'm happy
Yeah,
to have an
just-
alternative.
Consider
I was in with you. I was like, they can do everything but.
Yeah.
So
Well, come
they'll
on.
be fine. There's plenty of things to do.
Absolutely.
Anyway, when Buffy wakes up, Giles is like, "What did you dream about? Tell me specifically." And she's like,
with detail.
"She's like, I mean, it was just a
no need to get sidetracked. Let's give me a book
Right.
to research within.
Also, what we didn't say about the dream is that the dream ends with Angel
Killing her.
Hot.
Yeah. And that's kind of. Then wait, okay, you said you had a bummer thing to say next.
Yeah.
Was it that?
What was your bummer
No,
thing?
my bummer thing was you and I having this discussion over whether the evil thing was trying to. So like evil Jenny Calendar's like, and
Take her.
Take her. You want her. Take her. Take her, and then once you have her, you can
Like
you
it
can
kind of
be
sounds
ready
like
to
maybe
kill
Jenny
her.
Calendar wants her.
Yeah,
obviously.
Like
So in my mind, I was like, oh, she wants him to give into his base urges. She wants him to rape her, and then once he's lost his soul from doing that, kill her.
Right.
Because he'll be able to kill her because he doesn't have a soul. And you were like, no. But then it slowly became like, yeah, that is what is supposed to happen.
At first, I disagreed. At first, I was like, no, I think that like the first just wants to make him crazy so that he will kill
does
her.
kill her, yeah.
But then at the end, it's very explicitly
yeah, there was like a like a
you-
rapey aspect to it.
There's some serious rapey shit in this episode.
Because they were like, the first is like, oh, well, that's great. Like, you can just like have what you want. And then once that happens, it like trying to, I mean, in the same way that like Angel like took pleasure in like the making it more agonizing. I think the first is like, what's the worst thing you can have happen?
Yeah, and that's kind of like, I feel, and maybe I missed something, but I feel like it was never made 100% clear what the first, like, is the first just after Buffy dying ultimately, and they the first wants to take like the most torturous path to that.
They're just evil. Just like wants to
everything,
like cause
everything
pain.
bad.
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
Wreak some havoc.
My next note is funny. So go on.
No. That was my one question. So yeah, what's your next note? Do we go to Willie's or do you have a note before
It's
Willie's?
at Willie's. It's
Great.
just based on my viewing of Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's been happening lately. So I was like, why does Willie look so familiar? Guys, he's Mocha Joe on Curb.
I don't watch
No
Curb.
one watches Curb. Five people
watch that show, no?
They watch it, but it's like from so long ago. Like I'm
Right.
rewatching all of it. I think like one person will be like, oh, Mocha Joe. But yeah, he's like some actor who's been in a lot of stuff. But I was like, I just saw that guy. And he's like in one episode of Curb.
He's great. I don't know how he is in
Great
in
actor.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, but
Super funny character actor.
yeah, Willie is such an incredible character. And I feel like at this point, like Willie gets a little like notch of depth in this episode that he hasn't really gotten yet. Like first of all, he's decorated his bar. There's red and green stirs stirs together in the bar thing.
Nice.
And then he has a couple of moments at the end of this scene where like Xander like puffs his chest like a dingbat and is like, how about I ring that bell for you? But is also very aware and is like, is that what I was supposed to do?
Yeah.
And Willie like notices that Xander needs some affirmation. And gives that to Xander, which I just think is really sweet. He's like, "Hey, man, you did a good job. Like, you're totally."
I was really intimidated.
You're on the road to like totally intimidating people. And then he says to Buffy, "Hey, kid, Merry Christmas." And it's a nice little moment, you know.
Yeah.
Also, we don't have Kate Leth, as you probably know, because we would have already brought her in for like Jenny Calendar's mesh shirt. But Buffy is wearing classic button-down baby blue in this scene. And I like to...
I actually, when there was like a sort of like chest up shot of her and I was like, oh my God, is that the slow-mo trench coat?
Yeah.
It was not.
It's not. She has a lot of baby blue
But
in her
a lot
closet.
of it, but it like the cut of the collar and stuff for some reason. But also that reminds me of another instant classic Gaby Dunn quote from the viewing of this episode,
I don't
which
even know what it
was,
is.
why does she have so many trench coats? Why does she dress that way? She is a girl in high school.
This is when she's in her white full-length trench.
Yeah, I wrote down, why is she dressed like that? She's a teenage girl.
She's in like all black with like a ankle length white trench.
She just looks she just looks like a J. Crew or Ann Taylor mannequin.
And fucking
like,
Taylor.
What is this?
Yeah. Or Inspector Gadget. You know, you take your pick. Okay, before we go too in depth with fucking Buffy's jacket, can we just go to Red Velvet Willow? Also, not to
you guys.
Yeah, I want to spend time here, but I just want to say that Willow is wearing red velvet, and then when we go to the next scene, Buffy and Joyce are also both wearing red velvet. There's like
it's Christmas.
I mean, I know. I just want to make sure.
But Willow's Jewish.
Yeah, but she doesn't. But Willow is Jewish,
Guys,
but also on a holiday spirit
mission.
mission. So she's
a redhead and red velvet, chef's kiss.
Yeah,
right now. I can't even handle it.
This scene, huh?
Whoa,
this is like
very.
Can I ask? I've seen this scene many times, right? Of the like person being like, I would like for you to take my virginity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like 90210 was all about this shit. Fucking
Right.
Saved by the Bell. I don't even know, but I'm just making up shows now. But like, it was like a big trope. And like, that's not, and I'm queer. We're all queer. So maybe none of us have a good reference point. But I did not have like a moment where I was like, and now is the moment that I would like to give you my body.
Oh,
like,
no, not at all. Absolutely not.
Did you, Jenny? Did you have that moment? Jenny is so disgustedly looking at me right now.
I'm so not into this.
I mean, it's just
no, nothing like that. I wasn't even dating. It was like some friend of mine that I had gone to prom with, and then I was like, we had like made out or something. Oh no, we like did some other stuff, and then I was like, hey man, like at some point we could do this for real if you want. And he was like, dope. And that was like literally the end of, like, I don't mean to like write Shakespeare here, but that was literally the conversation.
Yep.
And I was like, tight, bring a condom. Like it was not like,
yeah, I don't know.
We didn't talk like Dawson's Creek, if I'm
right. My first ever girlfriend, who is now like my very best friend and who officiated our wedding. I'm
That's
like
the gay
dumping
shit I've ever
Randy.
heard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Dumping Randy's secrets out on the public channels here. But like she had before her and I were together, she had a boyfriend and they had that kind of conversation. Like they were together for so long in high school and they like talked about if they were ready yet.
Ugh.
But it's so
No, I mean, I'm sorry.
I know
you should
it
talk
really
about it. It's so
happened.
lovely.
It is. I never experienced anything like it. It was always just like, I guess we're doing a thing. So
I also had, like, I appreciate that a lot. I think it's also, I had the experience a couple times of like presenting the idea to a gentleman, maybe from ages like 14 to 17, floating the idea to a gentleman and having him go, I'm not ready. That happened to me.
Just like Willow and Oz.
Twice. No, but Willow's not, Oz isn't a virgin. But
right.
but the two 2 or 3 times I was like a guy who I was never
Wow.
I would be like, oh, what do you think if we? And they would be like, oh, I'm not ready. Like we're too young. Like that. Yeah. I mean, nerds, like fucking nerds for sure.
But still,
like
that's heartwarming. That warms my heart.
Interesting. It was an interesting thing. And when I tell people that now, they're like, what?
Right?
I mean, like, dude, I know. Imagine it happening to you 3 times.
You mentioned earlier that November 9th, the day that we're recording this episode, was a particular time for men. And I just think November 9th is a great time for us to hear this wonderful story.
I know.
About some young teenage boys being like, I'm not ready for that.
It was really interesting.
Yeah.
And so, like, I understand, like, I relate to Oz's, I get it.
Yeah.
But also, these were guys who hadn't. And also, I think there's this thing where it's like women are supposed to be the ones who are like, I want it to be special. And men are like, oh, I don't care. But, like, their thing, like, all 3 times, I think, they were like, no, I just, like, I needed my thing to be, like, special. Like, if I'm a guy, as, like, a cis guy, being like, when I lose my virginity, I want it to be special. And I was like, what?
Right, because we aren't told those stories.
But these dudes, that's what they wanted.
Although, and then, credit to Buffy for telling that story of like really having a character. Because fine, Oz isn't a virgin, but Oz's case is kind of like those other times weren't like this. Like, he kind of is saying like,
I want us to be in this relationship and like be trusting each other and stuff.
Right. And
so once again, teenage boys proven to have brains.
Yeah. I also like, we're just coming off of The Wish where we met Vamp Willow for the first time, and Vamp Willow was like licking Xander's face and Angel's face, just licking everything. And I just want to give a shout out to Allison Hannigan, who can like within the span of 1 episode go from playing this go from licking things to like totally not licking things. Yeah. It's just like she's playing 2 totally. Like, she went from like so sexy that Kate Leth barely made it fucking through her fashion watch for that episode to like nerdy Willow, like trying to be sexy and playing like ridiculous music. I mean, whatever.
That dress though. Also, I just want to have a quick little speculation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Willow and Oz have done up till now? I'm gonna go light fingering.
I think hands.
Anyone?
I think it's hands, all hands, all the time. Hands on penises, hands on.
You think she's giving him HJs?
I do. HJs.
You think there's HJs happening?
I do. I think
I was like when he turns her down to just be like, just a light beach. Just like a light. Some light.
I'm not ready for this, but I tell you what I am ready for.
Yeah, right. Like, no P&V, but you know what we can do?
Yeah.
Hit me with one of those HJs, girl.
Pour me a glass of Sprite on ice. The literal bottle of Sprite on ice in this scene. I hope everyone noticed.
Because later on, they were in bed talking and they've changed clothes. So,
yeah.
HJ
Definitely
time.
stuff
they
happening.
just got out of their velvet dresses and into their cozy PJs.
Oh, to cuddle.
To
For
and
easier
talk.
access to the fingering.
This is
Jenny.
I feel like we've talked about. I'm so sorry. We have young parents who would listen with their children, and now they've all stopped. It's all over for us. I'm sorry.
This is my fault, and they should have known that coming in because this is the type of content I bring.
Jenny literally brought up finger banging in the last episode.
You texted
That's when
me.
we texted you. Yeah. Oh yeah, you've really been making appearances in so many episodes.
Yeah.
So, off to Joyce and her Yule log.
Angels on top.
Angels on top.
Angels
no
on
time
top.
like Christmas fucking Eve to decorate your goddamn Christmas tree. What's wrong with these people?
As 2 people, there's 2 or 3 out of 3 of us who celebrate Christmas in this room, and I'll tell you when I decorate my tree, and it's like the fucking day after Thanksgiving.
Really?
Well, no, because they won't live long enough. But it's like December 1st. If I can't wait to get my Christmas tree, and the Christmas tree doesn't just stay in the house naked.
Heavens no.
I don't know anything about this.
You did well. You're gonna know this year when you come with us to get a Christmas tree.
Yay!
Actually, probably right around the time that this episode airs.
Oh
is
my
gonna
God.
be when
and
it's
time.
time.
Post
So they're decorating the tree, and then rap a tap tap. Somebody's at the door.
A tap. Fucking tap.
Who could that be? It's Faith.
Oh
Faith.
my God.
Hey.
This is.
Hey.
You said something to the effect of like, this is the most romantic. This is the most romantic relationship on the show. Like this
exchange in
Angel and Buffy
particular.
can go suck it.
Like this is like the most tense, like teenage, like hey.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't like you, whatever.
I guess that party didn't exist. It's whatever. Don't give me shit about it.
Buffy's like, glad you came and
Gaby is like, hell yeah.
I did say hell yeah. Under my breath, like in like the tone of like Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. He's like, hell yeah.
He looked really good.
So upset.
Faith also brought presents, one for Buffy and one for Joyce. They're pretty crappy.
Yeah, she keeps
saying
they're crappy.
What do you think is in
She's
there?
nervous. She doesn't want to be vulnerable.
Okay, well, so the
Great
one for
question. What
the
is
one
it?
for Joyce was
long and
skinny. So I'm gonna say pencil collection.
Or like
I thought maybe a
shoplifted
pen.
like eyeliner or something.
Yeah, a pen, a nice pen.
Maybe.
The one for Buffy was flat.
Looks
so
like a book,
a
I
book?
think.
Oh my god, maybe a journal. Maybe a I write one entry, then you write the next entry.
Literally, there's not a gayer present to get for the girl that you're crushing on than a fucking journal.
Here's
for
a
Christmas.
book where you can write all your thoughts about me.
Right.
if you want.
And then, like, in 6 months, I'll be like, so did you use your journal?
Yeah.
What did you write? Do you want to read me anything from
Or
your
like, did you
journal?
ever? Oh man, did you ever give someone a journal and then like you make the little prompts at the top? You know,
Ooh,
like so
I've
you're
had.
like, right, like it's like a regular journal, but I made it for you special. So it'd be like. Today, write about like your mom and how much you like, whatever. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Write about your mom.
Wow.
That's super sexy, Gaby.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like just to show like familiarity, you know, to show that you like know them and stuff.
When I dated my first girlfriend, who I've now brought up twice in this episode, unbeknownst to me, she kept a journal on a computer because it was right when computers were invented, everyone. And she typed an entry almost every day of that summer, the first summer that we were together. And she printed it out at the end of the summer and she gave it to me. And I still have it.
Oh my God.
I still, yes.
Oh
what?
my
I still have it. I will
God.
keep it
What?
forever. I know. We should like probably read it.
I do not want to read it.
Yeah.
Live read.
That's actually how she got outed to her mom because her mom read a page and it was about us having sex. It wasn't even like a page that was like, I have love feelings. It was like, and then we did this and it was great. And her mom read it.
Wow, is your next podcast you just reading
We're gonna
entries
need to
from
rent
that
out the
journal?
theater at the Ace Motel.
Yeah.
Everyone is Ace Hotel.
Ace Motel.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Faith. Ace Hotel. Everyone gets to play a part.
Yes.
Reenact the whole journal.
Oh my God, there's probably such embarrassing shit in there. I have to get it out.
I had a live journal. I wrote all this stuff too.
Anyhow.
Then Angel shows up in her room, fucking ruining everything.
Right? Worst timing.
Get
My
out.
girlfriend just
got
here. You're all
Get away,
twitchy and
ex-boyfriend.
sweaty.
Right? Joyce has just offered the girls some nog. My note on Angel's arrival is Angel, sweaty, sweaty Angel. And then I realized he has so many fucking shirts on. He can't handle it. Like, he's literally covered in sweat. He's like, I have not one, not two, but 3 shirts on.
And he throws himself out a window. Which is the funniest thing.
So dramatic.
He throws himself out, like literally, like not even gently, like throws himself out the window.
But not.
Oh, we're breaking up and things are hard and I might murder. Blah. He's so dramatic.
But not before I have a note about kinky. I wrote Jenny Calendar, kinky bitch, because she's like, she wants you to touch her. She just loves being there. Even before
more
that
rapey.
bitch died, she loved to be there, being like, so Angel, what are you gonna do? Like, she just loves to be involved, you know?
Yeah. He was like looking at Buffy's neck and Jenny Count. That's when I was like, see, you're wrong. She's trying to get him to like assault her.
Yes.
Ugh.
Anyway, back to the LOLs of Angel throwing his whole vampire body out the window is good. You may have to kill him again, Giles says to Buffy. Merry Christmas, everybody. That's what might happen.
Or he's going to kill himself.
Right. And then there's like some more Jenny Calendar and Angel stuff. She's like, she's driving him mad.
Ooh, and then I said, before anyone, there's just like, oh, the Harbingers, they live where things are dying. And then I yelled, the Christmas tree.
You pulled a Rose Russo in that moment. You were fully my mom. You were like, I've solved the case. I figured it out. Right. And Buffy so we've already laughed at Buffy's trench coat, but I'd also like to laugh at Buffy's entrance into the Christmas tree lot. Ugh. It is like she storms in at like 100 miles per hour because she's just as excited as you were, Gaby. She figured it out. The trees! The trees.
That coat, it looks ridiculous. Then she punches the ground and drops into a candle lair.
You know, she does. She barely touches the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like makes one Buffy-sized hole.
Yeah, and then she goes down there and then she sees like a bunch of harbingers and she makes some fun little pun jokes.
She does. That's what my next thing was.
What is
10
it?
more minutes. 10 more minutes and then 10 more minutes of chanting and then everyone has to go to bed.
Yeah.
Very good.
Funny.
Very good.
She kicks over their board game.
Yeah, she does. And then what's great is that Jenny Calendar has been like really building to a climax. I mean, I know it's like the first, but it's really Jenny Calendar has taken the main role for the first year. And it gets to a point where you're like, okay, buddy. And Buffy gets to like sort of be us in the scene and say like,
I am the thing the darkness fears.
Oh my God.
And Buffy's
Which
like,
honestly,
all right.
Same.
Yeah.
I like what's the line she says?
She says like, all right, I get it, you're evil. You know, like, which is exactly what I was thinking. Like, enough, Jenny Calendar, enough the first. You being just as dramatic as Angel.
Everyone is such a drama queen.
Yeah.
Then she promises that Angel will be dead by sunrise. And then Buffy is like, quip, quip, quip. And then the first is like, ugh, do I really have to do this to make a point? Okay, fine. I'll do this huge performance of being like a massive horned demon out of nowhere.
Bat is what I wrote down.
Halloween bat. I wrote CGI bullshit.
CGI bullshit and dead by sunrise.
Yeah.
Great.
And so then we go out. I have written Angel so dramatic all the time. What I am and ever shall be. He's just speaking. He's like fully gone into full Shakespeare. He's speaking in iambic pentameter about the sunrise.
The weirdest line for me is when he goes, "Am I a righteous man?"
I think that's the weirdest line for everybody.
What is happening?
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's so dramatic. Then he loses me again, even though I was already lost when they physically fight each other.
Yeah,
which no bueno.
But the series has like really skirted this line many times because they're like, well, it's not just a girl and a boy; it's like a slayer and a vampire. So it receives permissions that Gaby's snarling.
I'm so upset.
Snarling in her chair. I get it. I'm just saying,
it's terrible. It's it's like not portrayed. It's like portrayed to be romantic. That they're like grappling with each other. He's like holding. She looks terrified.
Yes.
She looks like a child. She looks so scared. And he's like holding her arms so tight. And he's like, "Am I a righteous man?" And also, and the thing that makes it worse for me is like, okay, if they were both 17, fine. Once again, he should know better.
Yeah, he should.
In that moment, I was like, this isn't a 100-year-old being, and this Sarah Michelle Gellar looks like a child.
Right. And the whole plot line hinges. Like, I wrote down a quote that is not a quote, but could be, sorry for my vulgar language, everyone, but like, I want to fuck you so bad that I have to die.
Right.
Because I literally can't, like, come on. Now if you're 17...
Then yes, that seems true.
That
totally
is
what you're
a
writing
legitimate
in your journal.
Yes, you feel it. It's true. But like, come on, man.
He should know better.
He should. This is the theme. This is becoming a running theme in this series at this point. Is we started strong with Angel. We're really petering out on Angel.
Well, then it kind of turns to me, and then I wrote down, I don't know. I guess this becomes like a very interesting anti-suicide thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm not against. Like, it's interesting that she's kind of like, no, the cowardly thing to do is to die and the brave thing to do is to fight. And I was like, that's interesting. Okay, I can get on board with that.
Well, and there's like a lot that you can layer over this. And I would really love to play this speech that Buffy has, if that's cool.
Strong is fighting. It's hard and it's painful and it's every day. It's what we have to do. And we can do it together. But if you're too much of a coward for that, then burn. If I can't convince you that you belong in this world, then I don't know what can.
So, because you were just talking about like, okay, well, it was this one thing, but it could also be read as this other thing. And I think that this moment is very strong because it could be read as a lot of things. It's like
Yeah.
we all have like demons to fight, and it's really fucking hard sometimes, and it feels overwhelming, and it feels like you can't fight that thing inside of you that probably isn't a murderer, but
Right,
like
that's what I mean.
I know. It's because if you take that out, it becomes this really beautiful scene. But then when you sort of look at the particulars, it becomes a little bit trickier. But I do want to at least give this speech the credit it's due. I
Yeah.
think when you're looking at it as just like a motivational speech to like keep on fighting and to like not fall into. Yes, Jenny.
I mean, I think it's a beautiful speech, but the cues that we're seeing in the show don't really indicate that it's having an impact. In fact, nothing seems to have an impact except the Christmas miracle of snow.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
Nothing's
right.
working,
The
and then it
show-
snows, and then everyone's like, oh.
The show wants us to like Angel and believe, like, the show ships them instead of sort of being like I really think that we only give Angel the passes that we do because he's a good-looking white guy. And I will stand on that hill and die on it. And I will wait for the sun to kill me. Because, like, again, okay, so it's this, like, it's almost like the boyfriend. It reminded me of, like, in high school when you have that boyfriend who's like, if you break up with me, I'll kill myself.
Right.
Because she shouldn't be the only good redeeming thing about him.
Yes, I agree.
Like, so, like, and then if she's like, well, just stay alive. What about for me? That's what you say because you're a teenager. But like, you shouldn't be what's keeping someone alive.
Yeah. This episode in particular, but it really glorifies the like notion of you being someone's everything.
Exactly.
Like there is nothing outside of that person.
Yeah,
which is really troublesome.
And like,
but also like 100% the way that any teenager experiences.
Yes. Totally.
Buffy's feelings are
But there's only one teenager in
exactly what I mean. Like Buffy is understandable. Angel should just know better. And also it's like I literally wrote down, okay, but he is like a bad guy. Like it's an interesting time. It's a very interesting time to be doing this episode because there's all these men getting outed as predators, and then they're like, some of them are like, well, I'm gonna go and get evaluated and get treatment, and I had problems and I had issues and I'm a bad person and I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, when does the apology tour begin? In the next few years? Like Mel Gibson's in a movie right now. Like everyone's chill with that. Like there's, so like there's this like quote unquote redemption arc that we extend to white men in particular that is not extended to, like, Janet Jackson showed her nipple by accident on the Super Bowl and her career suffered for years. Like and she wasn't extended, and she didn't even do anything, and she wasn't extended that sort of courtesy that we extend like every white dude who, like Woody Allen, Roman Polanski, everyone. So like I just think that there's that Angel, okay, we all are supposed to like feel bad for Angel and Buffy in this situation, but like my mind goes back to like the people he killed in the mansion going, you made me look at my dead children. I was supposed to get married and you killed me. I was just this like woman who worked in a lower position and you took advantage of that and killed me. Like, who are those people? Like, that's like, why are we sympathizing or like caring about fucking Angel at this point? Like there's like fucking Giles's girlfriend.
Right.
Like, it's so weird that, I mean, maybe the show is giving us, like, this kind of, you know, like, oh, well, maybe it is the thing of, like, the person you love can also be a monster. But, like, I don't know. And it's gray. I don't know. I just was like, they really went very far to show us that he did bad things.
Right.
And not just bad, like, oh, he killed like some random.
Yes.
But like he killed his friend. He took advantage of a woman in a lower position and killed her. Then they were like went out of their way to be like, he also killed children. Like then why show us all that?
Right. They really because it could have been, I think it could have been the same storyline had he been a vampire who killed people.
Right.
But it is really they wanted to like get it to
be
the
like,
most
he
dramatic.
Loved it.
Yeah.
He was cruel and serial killer about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very complicated. It's very complicated. But we have Gaby Dunn here with us to help us fucking unpack this shit.
Thank God.
Can I talk about Snowfall for a second?
I'm gonna say, but then it starts snowing, so everything's fine.
So it starts snowing. Let's just let's talk about the end of this. We'll come back because I have other things to say. But like, it snows like 3 feet. In
about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Now, I looked up if it has ever snowed in
what did it
Los
say?
Angeles. I know we don't know exactly what it has. And I would like to let you know that the record snowfall in a 24-hour period was in 1949 in January. And that was 0.3 inches.
Oh my God.
0.3 inches. So
And
this
you
is,
said it looked like Brooklyn.
this looked like, so Jenny and I, what year was that, Jenny? Do you remember? Like 2012,
Oh no, actually it was 2010.
Oh, okay, 2010. So Jenny and I were up at my parents' house that December, and this is like the snowpocalypse in Brooklyn. And we saw on the news that there was this huge snowstorm out of nowhere coming to hit Brooklyn. So we were like, fuck, we got to
It was
get back.
on Christmas Day. We were supposed to be going
Yes.
from like your parents in upstate New York to my parents in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
We had to call my parents and say,
Sorry.
we can't come because there's going to be this bananas blizzard that like nobody predicted. So,
So
we
we-
like got back to Brooklyn, and all of the plow guys were like on vacation.
Nobody
The
knew.
mayor
It
was,
was-
out of town for the holiday. There was like no staff.
I don't think anything like
Nobody
this will
knew.
ever happen again.
And well, yeah, because they've like
'Cause
been
they- 'cause
overcompensating
they-
ever since. So
yeah.
so it just snowed like fucking I don't know what, like nothing I've ever seen. Like we walked down Fifth Avenue,
in Brooklyn. Major thoroughfare.
There
Yeah.
were buses that had been abandoned
in the middle of the
diagonally
street.
through the intersection.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
Just like they couldn't go any further.
It was crazy. I mean, we went to sleep, woke up, the street was not plowed, and then went to sleep again, woke up, and the street was not. Like it was it was like nothing
It was
we've
like a
ever
different
seen. We
world.
like
That's where they shot this scene.
that is
And that's where they shot
that
this
is where this scene
we
was.
also happened to live on the one street in
on
the
the
WB
WB
lot.
lot. Cool.
I want to, so before we like really round out the episode, I want to just, Gaby, talk about a moment of realization that you had.
Amazing. My favorite
Okay.
part of the
Just
episode.
walk us through that.
Okay, so it's supposed to be dawn, right? It's supposed
Yeah.
to be like the sunrise.
The sun is
okay?
rising.
So Giles awake, totally fine. Willow and Oz completely awake in their pajamas, bed undisturbed,
Right.
just awake, giving H.
Maybe they were talking. Yeah.
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 Then that was fine. Xander sleeping. Then Faith and Joyce awake. Faith and Joyce. So what did they do? I yelled, "What did they do?" So at no point did Faith go home. Did they like?
Well, Faith is supposed to be like watchdogging for Joyce, and they're probably
So-
both really worried about Buffy
What
waiting
did
for
they
her to come
talk
home.
about?
I
What
think-
did they
what
talk
did-
about?
okay,
I think they played Uno. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
Joyce
gonna need a
fed
full rundown of what
Faith
they did
Christmas cookies
for the hours that Buffy was busy.
Maybe they watched It's a Wonderful Life on TV, and Faith pretended to like hate it and be like, this like old,
Do you think that
stupid
that
movie.
Joyce
but
just
secretly was just like, yes.
Yeah, totally. She like it warmed her. Her heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Yes, exactly.
Do you think that Joyce just was like, "Do you want to see the baby albums?" And Faith was like, "I do."
Yes.
And then she just showed her every like Buffy like all through childhood up
Oh
until
my
is the
God.
fanfic.
And then later, Faith is going to be like, I saw that picture of you when you were dressed up like a clown for Halloween.
Right,
And
exactly.
it was really cute.
Yeah. She's like, "Do you
Uh-huh.
mind if I take this one?" And it's just like Buffy in a school play. And she like holds it close to her heart.
She puts it on the inside pocket of her
Of her
leather
gl-
jacket.
yeah.
You guys.
Yeah, and it's like Buffy playing Maria in Sound of Music in the 5th grade.
Oh, it's good. It's good. While you were talking about what Joyce and Faith did, which is a topic I am extremely interested in, I was
Yeah.
just looking up.
Sexual tension award.
Yeah. Oh, we do have to give the sexual tension award. But
Faith
I was
and Joyce, baby.
is that your contender? I was gonna go again. I know we're gonna have a lot of them, but I just think Faith and Buffy were.
That moment at the door, it's too much.
It's too much, right?
Giles and Angel.
Giles and Angel, very tense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My vote is to give the full award to Buffy and Faith again. Is that bad?
Okay. Yeah,
Is that bad?
Keep it winning.
All right, but
I
we-
mean, it's no Faith and Joyce, but
The listeners are going to be really split on this one. Will you play the jingle?
Sexual attention award.
Okay, so Buffy and Faith. I'm sorry. That's the podcast that you're at. They
All
won.
right,
They
that's
won.
fine.
They
How it
won.
had
Runners
to
up.
be.
Joyce and Faith, 100%.
Ageism.
But
Wow.
Gabby Dunn. It has
Gabby
been
Dunn.
a joy.
Thanks.
To have
The episode ends, by the way, with them walking, holding hands.
Yes.
So are they back together?
Are they?
When your
They're-
shitty friend gets back together with her shitty ex.
Yeah, right? You know who's not going to be happy? Faith.
Faith has been warmed with the joys of an older woman. So
Gabby.
Gabby going hard for Joyce and Faith. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna say no to it myself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys.
What? Anyhow.
Sure. Regardless.
Anyhow, we don't know what's going to become of Angel and Buffy, but they are certainly walking down a 4-foot snowy path.
Holding hands.
Holding hands. Gabby,
Yeah.
will you tell us where we can find you? I mean, I think most of our listeners know where to find you, but tell the new people.
Sure. You can find me at Gabby Dunn on Twitter, at Gabby Road on Instagram. YouTube channel is youtube.com/justbetweenusshow. Also, I have a book out now. It's called I Hate Everyone But You. It was a New York Times bestseller, so you should get it. Otherwise, people will be like, why are you so behind the times?
I think Jenny and I put it over the top. We bought 2 copies, and I think that's what got it onto the, it was
Thank
right
you.
there,
You're
and then we
welcome.
bought our 2, and it was,
Yeah.
it's not to whatever, but fucking, it's a great book. You should get it. It's
Yeah,
like
it's really
incredible
great.
representation for queer people, bisexual people, and just
Thanks.
written, it's really, really written incredibly. And it's written in the whole book is written in emails and text messages back and forth between the 2 main characters.
Mhm.
And I have never read anything like that in my reading.
Dracula itself is an epistolary novel. It's journal entries and letters.
Wow.
From Stokers.
The one and only.
Stokers.
So yeah, so if you like vampires, the original vampire story was told similarly to my book.
Keeping it on brand.
Thanks. And I think I have
and
a
you had
podcast
do you have a
called Bad
podcast?
with Money.
Yes. And you just had a short that came out.
Oh yeah. I did a little short film called Love Me Do. It's on the New Form YouTube page. If you just look up on YouTube New Form Love Me Do, it was a short about me and my dad, and it was at the Austin Film Festival.
Hell yeah. Sick.
Thanks.
So much cool shit. Gabby Dunn, just fucking burning it all down, you know?
Thanks, guys. I got shy here at the end.
Unbelievable.
We really pushed it. We were like, what about
You're
this
like
thing and
my
that
mom
thing?
at Thanksgiving. Tell your aunt and uncle what you did. You did a short film. She did a short film. Well, where can I see it? It's on the internet. Nah, it's too much work.
Oh my God. Could be a Long Island conversation.
Yep.
In my family. All right. Well, Jenny, why don't you tell them about you?
Well, hey, I'm Jenny Owen Youngs, and when I'm not watching Buffy and making this podcast, I write songs and record them and play shows and so on. You can learn more about me at jennyowenyoungs.com/buffering. And you can also give me a shout on Twitter at Jenny Owen Youngs.
I am Kristen Russo, and you can find out more about me and my work with LGBTQ communities and their families over on my website at KristenNoeline.com. That's KristenNoeline. That also happens to be my Twitter handle. So if you want to say hello to me on Twitter, hello. Jenny gets what do you get? A shout?
Or a holler?
A holler, but I would like a proper hello. You can find me on Twitter over at Kristen Noeline as well.
Buffering the Vampire Slayer is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at BufferingCast, and you can email us directly at bufferingthevampireslayer@gmail.com.
Yes, and if you were following us on those social accounts, you would know that over the last couple of weeks, we have been conducting the Sexual Tension Award Showdown for Season 1. We did Season 2 with Season 2, and we will do Season 3 when we get to the end of Season 3, but we did not crown a winner from all of the Sexual Tension Award winners in Season 1. And with the help of Emily, our listener who has spearheaded the entire Sexual Tension Award Showdown effort, we have come together as a group to determine who won Season 1. Who do you think it was?
Who else could it be but Cordelia
on Cordelia? I like that you went with and I went with on.
Potato.
Cordelia and Cordelia, we congratulate you both for your
being very exciting for you.
extreme effort at sexual tension with yourself.
Hooray!
Self-love, so important.
Amen. And as usual, your trophy is in the mail. This one will take a little bit longer because it's a little bit bigger because it's for the whole season than the regular episodic Sexual Tension Awards.
I'm not looking forward to getting to the very end of the series. Like, I don't know what we will do. I will cry. But I am looking forward to getting to the end of the series when we crown the ultimate winner.
Wow.
Right?
Across all 7
What
seasons.
is that trophy going to look like is what I want to know.
I don't know.
Woo! Anyhow, back to us. If you want to support this work, we are doing God's work over here, making sure that the world knows that Cordelia on Cordelia Love is celebrated.
Hooray.
And if you would like to support our work in any way, shape, or form, you can do that over on Patreon. You can go to bufferingthevampireslayer.com, click on Patreon, and you will join our wonderful Patreon community. There's a secret Facebook group. We do Buffy watches. People get songs in advance. There's secret mailbag episodes. There's, voice memos of Buffy It's Cold Outside, sung by Kristen and Jenny. It's a great place. And a reminder that we will be doing a Buffy watch of Bad Girls on December 9th at 2 p.m. Pacific. You can also support our work by going over and getting yourself some merchandise. 'Tis the season for gifts, especially gifts that help us smash the patriarchy. So you can go on over and click shop on our website and you'll see all of our wares.
Speaking of our wares, we want to remind you that every month we create 5 handwritten lyric sheets. We sell them for $100 a piece and we mail them to you and donate all of the money at the end of every month to a specific cause. This month, we are donating to New Alternatives.
New Alternatives is an organization in New York City. They help LGBTQ homeless youth. Just want to give you an idea of how homelessness affects LGBTQ youth. So LGBTQ plus youth make up 7% of the total youth population. But when we're looking at homeless youth, LGBTQ plus youth make up 40% of the homeless population. So this is, I know many of you know this. I mean, this has been an issue for years and years and years. I remember watching a My So-Called Life episode that tackled the issue of homeless LGBTQ youth back in the early 90s. So we are very, very happy to be gathering funds to give to organizations like New Alternatives who are giving meals and support and help to these homeless youth who are homeless because of their sexuality or their gender identity. So thank you in advance for your support. Also a really great holiday gift to give somebody a lyric sheet that not only is like, a lyric sheet that's nice and they like, but they also know that the gift supported homeless LGBTQ youth.
Yes.
While we're on this topic, now we normally don't talk about our song before we play our song, but Jenny and I just wanted to touch base for a moment on Amends, the song Amends for today. Because when we were writing it, so we talked about the episode. We know what's happened, right? Angel is being taunted by the friend. Buffy is like, hold on, you have to stay strong. And so we knew we were going to write, the song has to be about the episode and it's from Buffy's perspective. But when we were talking, we decided we also wanted to write a song that would lift up people over the holiday season who are split from their families, whether that's because of their sexuality or their gender identity, whether it's because of politics, whether it's because of a combination of many factors. We know that many of you are working on building your chosen family this season, and we know that that can be really difficult. So know as you're listening to this song that we wrote it with you in mind, and that so many of us listening to this song and to this podcast together are where you are and have a very, very deep empathy for what you're facing and for what many of us are facing too alongside of you. So sending all of you so much love as we roll over into December. We're so happy to have you all in our lives and to see you all finding each other through this community. Enjoy the song, and don't worry, once it's over, we'll play Buffy It's Cold Outside so that no one has to cry in their car for more than a couple of minutes.
All right, let's howl out so we can get to the music.
Yes.
Till next time.
Faith and Joyce forever.
So here we are in December, the end of another year. Sometimes it's hard to remember that you belong here. 'Cause I know the voices outside of yourself are telling you dreams that aren't true. But when the gray comes in December, I'll be here telling you to keep something becomes so familiar, it can be hard to let go. You're looking for something to fill ya. What it should be, you don't know. Look to the people that know who you are. We're already waiting for you. Warm lights and snowfall to still ya. Head for the home that you choose and keep
Okay, are you still here?
Hello, hi. We're still here with you.
Okay,
we love
just
you.
Get yourself.
We care about you.
Tissued.
That song is also available for free download for everyone. So if you'd like that song forever, you can get it at bufferingthevampireslayer.com/amends, and you'll see the free download right there for everyone. And now, to lift all of our spirits together in fan fiction glory.
Hooray!
Well, here is the complete version of Buffy, It's Cold Outside. And again, you can find this song and the lyric video that goes along with it that made Heather Hogan take her sweatshirt off and drink a whole glass of water at bufferingthevampireslayer.com/'tis the season.
I really can't stay.
But Buffy, it's cold outside.
I've got to go slay.
But Buffy, it's cold outside.
This evening has been.
Was hoping you'd ask
so
me
very
in.
nice.
I've heard vamp hands are just like
my mother. She loves to worry.
Come on, what's your
My watcher
hurry?
will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace
So really, I'd better scurry.
Come on, please don't hurry.
Well, maybe just a half an hour.
I'll put some leather on while you pour.
The neighbors might think
there's a big bat out there.
Hey, did you just wink?
The alleys are dark out there.
I wish I knew how.
Who knows what monsters
to
prowl.
braid your hair.
I'll take your steak, just stay right there.
I ought to say no to this.
Don't you wanna kick the gear
At least I'm gonna
shift?
say that I tried.
What's the sense? We're gal pals for life.
I really can't stay.
I think you're patrolled out.
But it's cold outside. So Faith, thanks again for the gifts.
'Tis the season, whatever that means.
I simply must go.
Buffy, it's cold outside.
The answer is no.
Buffy, it's cold outside.
This girl's night has been.
How lucky you asked
so
me.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at that storm.
Willow will be suspicious.
Gosh, your dog is delicious.
Angel would be there at the door.
Angel is a dramatic bore.
Wow, your mind sure is vicious.
I don't mean to be malicious.
Well, maybe we could train a bit more.
Yes, we should train a bit more.
I've got to patrol.
But Buffy, you'd freeze out there.
Say, lend me your coat.
It's 60 degrees out there.
You've really been grand.
Nobody needs a man.
But don't you see?
Let's smash the patriarchy.
There's bound to be talk tomorrow.
Have you got leather pants I can borrow?
At least there will be plenty implied.
Now B, we'll be 5 by 5.
I really should slay.
I think you're patrolled out. But it's cold outside.
Dana Schwartz, and this is Rise or Die, the official companion podcast for Peacock's original series, Those About to Die. On this podcast, I go behind the scenes with the show's cast and creators to learn how they brought their brutal vision of Rome to life.
Gosh, people will freak out.
Rise or Die launches on July 18th. Watch or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.